see the remaining data types that are also available in a Python, and these are considered as a built-in data types. So which are the remaining data types? Now we have to see first the bool data type. Bool data type. So what is that bool data type? The bool data type in Python represents boolean values. Bool data type in Python that represents boolean values, and there are only two boolean values. These are true or false. So true and false, these are the two boolean type of values, and that can be represented by this data type. So Python internally represents true as a 1. If you declare the true, it will represent as a 1, and if you declare the false, it will represent as a 0. So Python, true or false, that can be represented as a 1 and 0. So a blank string, like suppose for example if we given a blank string in this way, so now is the content inside a single quote or double quote. So string will be represented by using a single quote or double quote, and if you want to take a empty string, means that no character will be written inside a single quote or double quote, and this is called as the empty string. Suppose if you take a blank string or empty string like that, is also represented as a false. So this will be considered as a false. If you take an empty string, it will considered as a false. So conditions will be evaluated internally to either true or false. Suppose for example, if you take an example a equal to 10, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now if you want to check if a less than b, if a less than b, print hello. Now save that inside your home directory by giving the data types.py name as a save as a type Python files. Okay, save it. Now execute that by using a pressing F5 or going to the run option and run module. Now after execution we get the output as a hello. How it is? If the condition is true, means a equal to 10, b equal to 20. If a less than b, a is a 10, b is a 20. Obviously a is smaller than b. The condition is true, then the statement written inside that block, if block, will be executed, and we get the output as a hello. We get the output as a hello. So in the previous code, the conditions like a less than b, here a less than b, which is written after if, is evaluated to true, and hence it will give the output. It will go execute the statement print hello, and you get the output as a hello depending upon the condition. Suppose the condition is false. If you taken as a greater than b, if you written if a greater than b, then execute that, you don't have get any output. Suppose if you written that inside else part, else, then else part will be executed. Hello, hi, okay. If the condition is false, else part will be executed. So this is a boolean type. Depending upon the condition, it contains either a true or false value. It contains either a true or false value. Now if we treat it as, suppose if you taken a equal to 10 greater than 5, then print a. What is that? You get the value as a true. So what is stored here inside a? A contains a true value. A contains a true value. So a is of a true type. A is of a Boolean type as a true, because 10 greater than 5, 10 is a greater than 5, that condition satisfies as a true, and hence A contains value as a true. If you display it, you get the output as a true because A contains a true value. Suppose if you return A equal to 10 less than 5, print A. Now we made the condition as a false. Look at here. This is the use of a Boolean date type that will display a false value. That will display a false value. Now we have to see the next date type, that is a sequences. Now we have to see the next date type, that is a sequences in a Python. So sequence date type is the most important date type in a Python. So generally sequence represents a group of elements or atoms. For example, if you take an example of a group of integer numbers, that will form a sequence. Group of date of births of students, that is also form a sequence. Then the group of marks obtained for a student, this is also a group of float numbers. So sequence represents a group of elements or atoms. So there are 6 types of sequences in a Python. Now first, that is a str. First data type, that is a str. Second is bytes. Third is bytes array. Byte array. Fourth is list data type. Then fifth is tuple. Sixth data type, that is a range. So these are the 6 sequence data types that are used in a Python. First is a string. For that we are taking a str data type. Another is a bytes. Third is a byte array. Fourth is a list. Fifth is a tuple, and sixth is a range. So these are the 6 sequence data types that are used in a Python. Now we have to see one by one. The first, that is a str data type. The first, that is a str data type. Now what is a str? A str data type that represents a string data type. A str data type that represents a string data type. Now a str is a string data type. A string is represented by a group of characters. So what is a string? String is group of characters. So string contains either single or multiple or number of characters. So by writing a number of characters, or we can store a number of characters inside a string. So string is a group of characters, or string represented by a group of characters. Strings are enclosed in a single quote or double quotes. Both are valid. If you want to declare a string yes equal to, suppose, hello. So here hello is a string. Yes is a data type of a string type. So look at here. String will be represented or enclosed either by using a single quote, or yes equal to, we can also represent or enclose it by using a single quote. String will enclose by using either a double quote, or string can be enclosed in a single quote. So both are valid here. You can use either a single quote or double quote. So strings are enclosed in a single quote or double quotes, and both are valid. So look at the example, yes equal to hello inside a double quote. Similarly, we can also write yes equal to hello inside a single quote. So we can also write strings inside a triple double quotes or triple single quotes. So if you want to write a group of lines including spaces, if you want to write group of lines including spaces, we can also represent the string in this way. Suppose for example str1 equal to, if you want to represent a string in a multiple lines, so this is a string written on, suppose you want to store next line on a next remaining lines on a next line. So this is a string written on multiple lines in a Python, contains number of words including spaces. So we have written that, and at the end we can close that by using a triple double quote. So in this way we have represented a string and that are included in a triple single quote or triple double quote. So another way is there for representing a string. String can be enclosed in a triple double quote or triple single quote. Suppose for example another way is there, or same string can also be represented by using a triple single quote, and at the end it must end with a triple single quote. So this is a string written on multiple lines in a Python, and that contains a number or words including spaces. That contains number of words including spaces. So this is the way of writing a string or declaration of a string. Now we have to see some examples here. Suppose for example, first we have to write a program representation of string. Representation of string. Suppose we have declared one string s equal to welcome to Python. Welcome to Python. Now display that string, print yes. Store that. Okay. Look at here, we get the output welcome to Python. Now another string, suppose s1 equal to, same string we have declared a well inside a single quote, welcome to Python. Then display that string, print s1. Now it must be end with a single quote. If you start a string with a single quote, it must end with a single quote. If you start with a double quote, it must end with a double quote. Now look at here, welcome to Python. So again we have get the output. Another way, if you declare multiple lines of string, suppose if you taken the same example here like that. Now the third way of representing a string. String can be enclosed in a triple double quote. String can be enclosed in a triple quote. Now display that string, print str1. Print str1. Look at here, we get the output in this way. This is a string written on multiple lines in a Python, contains number of words including spaces. Another way, same string can be written. Suppose I am declaring another string, str2 is here, and that should be enclosed in a triple single quote, and it will end with a triple single quote. Now display that str2, print str2, we get the output in this. This is a string written on a multiple lines in a Python, contains number of words including space. So in this way we can represent a string. This is the way of representing a string. Now we have to see the examples there some. So the slice operator that will represent square brackets. So slicing of the string, now we have to see the slicing of a string. Slicing of a string. Slicing of a string. Now, what is a slicing in a string? The slice operator represents square brackets. So, slicing in a string, for that we are using the slice operator. So, what is slice operator? Square, this is the slice operator. Square bracket will be used. Square bracket. Opening square bracket and closing square bracket. So, to retrieve pieces of string, to retrieve the pieces of a string, slice operator will be used on a string. Suppose for example, the characters in a string are counted from 0 onwards. So each character of a string or first character of a string that will be stored at a 0 index. Hence str of 0 indicates the 0th character or beginning character of a character in the string. Now we have to see one example. Suppose for example, if you taken yes equal to welcome to Python. For example, yes equal to welcome to Python. Now if you display that print yes, we get the output welcome to Python. Welcome to Python. Now if you want to retrieve the first character of that string, now print yes of 0. We want to take the slice of a first character of a string welcome to Python. Now look at here, we get the output as a W here. So we have retrieved or the first character of a string will be stored at 0 index. Now look at here another way. If you want to retrieve a slice from first 3 characters, for example this is 0, 1, 2. Now for that 0 to 3 will be there. So see here WEL will be retrieved. Look at here once again how we have taken the slice of a string. 0 to 3 means 0, 1, 2. If you return here start is a 0 and end is a 3. End is a 3 means it will go from 0 to 2 will be there. So 0, 1 and 2. This part will be retrieved from a string yes. Same if you take another example. Suppose see here, if you taken as a 4, WELC will be retrieved. Look at here, WELC will be retrieved. So if you return end with 4 means it will go up to 3. If you return end with 3, it will go up to 2 or second index will be there. Now another example, if you start with a 1 and go up to 5 means what? It will start from a 1 index means it will start from E, and up to 5 index means it will go up to 4 index means 1, 2, 3 and 4. That ELCO part will be retrieved. Look at here, ELCO part will be retrieved. ELCO part will be retrieved. So this is a slicing operation. Another, if you take an example, suppose here if you want to retrieve from 3 to 7, 3 to 7 will be there. Now look at here, we get the output as a come. See here, where is a C? 0, 1, 2 and C will be located at index 3. So starting index is a 3. Starting index is a 3. Now up to 7 means what? Look at here, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and space is a 7. So if you taken as a end with 7, it will go up to 6 means here that is 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that part or that slice will be retrieved from a string. Now another example, look at here. If you want to retrieve the if you written like that 11 onwards, 11 onwards. So second parameter here we have not taken 11 colon, nothing will be written there. So till end, start with 11 and go till end. The meaning of that slice is a start with 11 and here we have not written anything, so it will go till end of the string. Now look at here, we get the output as a Python. We get the output as a Python here from 11 till onwards. So look at here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that space is 7, 8, 9 and here space is 10. So start from 11 here, 11 and till end means that word will be, or that slice of the string welcome to Python. From the slice, from that string, the slice Python will be retrieved by using this slicing operation. Now next example, if you return like that -1, so negative indexes are also applied in a Python. Negative indexes are also applied in a Python. If you return yes of -1, then it will retrieve the last character of a string. See here, the last character n of that string, the last character n of that string will be retrieved if you return the slice of s of -1. So by applying a negative indexes, in this way we can retrieve the last character of a string. Suppose for example, if you want to retrieve the second last character, see here -2, it will retrieve. Now O will be there. Look at here, O will be retrieved. So n will be at a -1, O is a -2, this is -3, -4, -5, -6 in this way. Negative indexes are also, or reverse indexes are also applied in a Python, are also used in a Python. Now we have to see the next, the repetition operator, that is denoted by a repetition operator that is denoted by using a star symbol. Now within that string we have to see the repetition operator. So for that we are using a star, or multiplication symbol will be used for a repetition operator. So what is the use of that repetition operator? Now the repetition operator will be used to display the string in a repeated or number of times. In a repeated times or number of times. Now suppose for example, if you return or if you declared a string yes equal to welcome to Python. So we have taken one string welcome to Python and stored inside a variable yes. Now we want to display that welcome to Python string 3 times. Now we can write this in this way, yes multiplied by 3. Look at it. Yes multiplied by 3. Now save that, execute it. We get the output in this way. Look at here, welcome to Python, then second welcome to Python, then third welcome to Python. So the same string yes will be displayed 3 times. Yes will be displayed 3 times. So this is the use of string data types. Now the next data type, that is a bytes data type. Next data type, that is a bytes data type. So what is a bytes data type? The bytes data type represents a group of byte numbers, just like an array. Bytes data type represents a group of byte numbers, just like an array. So byte number is any positive number or positive integer ranging from 0 to 255. So byte is any positive number ranging from 0 to 255. So this is the range of bytes numbers, 0 to 255. So we cannot take the negative numbers there, that is less than 0, -1, -2, like that. Also we cannot take positive numbers are greater than 255, 256, 257. We cannot take the numbers inside a bytes data type. So byte data type represents a group of byte numbers just like an array. A byte number is any positive number or positive integer ranging from 0 to 255. Bytes array can store numbers in the range of 0 to 255 and it cannot even store negative numbers. It cannot even store the negative numbers, means less than 0, and we cannot store the numbers from greater than 255. So this is about the bytes. Now we have to take an example. Suppose for example we have stored some elements within that. Now representation of bytes data type. How byte data type will be represented? Suppose for example we have taken a list of numbers num equal. We have taken a list of numbers inside a list data type. Suppose 10, 20, 3, 45, 23, 67, 2, 34, 61, like that. So here we have taken the list of numbers. What is that? This is a list of numbers. This is a list of numbers. This is a list of numbers. Now we have to convert that list of numbers in a bytes data type. So for that we have taken a variable b equal. So b is a bytes data type. Now it becomes a bytes by using a bytes function. Bytes of num. Bytes of num. What that statement do? Convert. That statement will convert the list of numbers into byte array. Convert list of numbers into byte array. Now we have to display that bytes array. We have created a byte array from the list of numbers and we want to display that. So to display that numbers we are using a for loop. So to retrieve the elements or to retrieve the elements from b. B is a byte type array using the for loop. Using the for loop. Now we have to write a for loop for this. For I in b. Now display the value stored inside I. Look at it. Save that program. We get the list of numbers stored inside a bytes array. So this is about the bytes array. Now see once again the representation of a bytes data type. So for that we have taken one list of numbers. So list of numbers that contains only the numbers ranging from 0 to 255. This is a list of numbers for bytes data type. If you taken a number greater than 255, suppose here 256 is taken, see what happen? We cannot convert it. It will get an error. What is that? Bytes must be in range of 0 to 256. Means value error will be there. 0 to 256 means here 255 is there. So we cannot take the values out of range of byte numbers. So instead of that we have taken another value, we can take only the byte numbers between 0 to 255. So we have taken one list of numbers 10, 20, 3, 45, 23, 60, 67, 234, 25. Now convert, this is a list because it is enclosed in a square parenthesis. Now convert that list of numbers in a bytes array using this bytes function. Bytes of num. So num is a list. Here we have passed that. Convert that list into a bytes and stored in a variable b. Now b becomes a bytes type array. B becomes a bytes type array. Now we want to display all the values stored inside that byte type array. Bytes type array. For I in B, here we are using a for loop to retrieve each value of that array. For I in B means what? From a B we can retrieve each value, and inside a loop it will display the each value of that bytes array. So this is the use of a byte data type. Another, that is a byte array. Here yes is not there. Byte array. Byte array. Look at here. Now we have to see the second data type, that is a byte array. So byte array data type is similar to bytes data type. Byte array data type is similar to bytes data type. The difference is that, now what is the difference in a byte array and a bytes type array? The difference is that the bytes type array cannot be modified. Bytes type array cannot be modified. Means the value that we have taken here, that cannot be modified. Once we have taken a list of byte numbers, convert that, it cannot be modified. But the byte array type array can be modified. Means the value we have taken inside a byte array can be updated, or we can delete, we can insert new value, or we can update the existing value. So byte array type array can be modified. It means any element or all the elements of byte array type can be modified. To create a byte array type array, we can use the function byte array. Similarly, bytes function we are taking here byte array. Now we have to see what is a byte array. For example, suppose we have taken the list of numbers, representation of byte array. So here we have taken a list of numbers, that is 10, 20, 3, 45, 23, 67, 234 and 25. We have taken here the list of numbers. Another number 0 also we can take here, because the range is from 0 to 255. So this is the list of byte numbers. This is a list of byte numbers. These are the list of byte numbers because it is in the range of 0 to 255. Now convert that byte numbers into a byte array. Byte array type array. Convert the list of numbers into byte array type array. To convert the list of bytes numbers, we are using a byte array function. Now here num, that list will be passed within a parenthesis, and it will convert the list of numbers in a byte array type array and stored in a variable b. Now retrieve the each element of a array, each element of a byte type array by using a for loop. Look at here. So we get the output in this. So this is the way of using a bytes array. Now one important thing is that we want to modify the content of a byte array. Suppose for example, if you want to store b of 0 equal to. Now within a B of 0 we have stored a 10 there. Now suppose for example we want to replace that 10 value. We want to replace the 10 value that should be located at 0 index by the use of 15. Replace the 10 by 15 like that. So bytes array that are modifiable and bytes data type is not modifiable. This is the main difference between this. Now another way, B of, suppose this is 0 1 2, we want to convert that or modify the value of that. B of 2 equal to, instead of 2 we want to declare as a 30, instead of 3 we want to modify 30 like here. So here on a second index 3 will be replaced by a 30. 3 will be replaced by a 30. So we will write a byte type array and that should be a modified. Now we have to see the next data type, that is a list. In a Python are similar to arrays in C or Java. A list represents a group of elements. The main difference between a list and array is that a list can store some different types of elements, but array can store only one type of element. So list can store any type of element. List can store any type of elements, but array can store the same type of element. So this is the main difference between list and array. Array can store one data type element. Array can store elements of one data type, but list can store an elements of any data type. So list can store same or multiple types of elements there. So list can grow dynamically in a memory. Array will be a static or fixed size. Means what? If you declared the size of the array as a 5, we can store only the 5 elements. But here is not like that. The lists are modifiable. Means it can be grow while inserting a new elements inside a list. It can be shrink by deleting the elements of a list. So there will be no limit for insertion, deletion or updation within a list. So lists can grow dynamically in a memory, but the size of the array is fixed. The size of the array is fixed and they cannot grow at runtime. Also lists are separated using the square bracket. Lists are represented using a square bracket like that. Here we have declared a list. This is a list. Now we have to see the representation of a list. This is a list of numbers. This is a list of numbers. So lists are represented using a square bracket. Here we have need to represent that list by using a square bracket, and the elements are written inside that square bracket separated by commas. For example, we have declared one list num equal to, or we want to change that lst equal to inside a square bracket list of numbers we have taken. All that numbers or group of numbers are separated by a comma, and at the end the square bracket is closed. So we will create a list with different types of elements. The slicing operations, as similar to the string, we can also apply on a string because it is similar to the array. And obviously the first number that is stored at index 0. Now see how the lists will be represented. So here we have taken a list of elements. Now I want to change it. Suppose I want to take a roll number 101 having name as Sagar Shinde, living in Akluz, having age as 21 and has get a marks as a 58.93%. Now this is a list. Here we are taking a same or different types of elements. So we have taken a first element that is of type as integer. Second, we have taken as a multiple word strings closed inside either single quote or double quote. Also we have taken an address. This is also string. We have taken an age of student. This is a number and this is a float, that is the percent of marks obtained for that student. So this is the way of representation of a string enclosed in a square bracket. Each element is separated by a comma, like that. Now we want to display all the elements of a list by using a print function. By using print function, we can display the list of elements stored inside this. Look at here. The list of elements stored inside that list will be displayed. See, if you want to display a list of elements one by one, for that we are need to take a for loop or while loop. Suppose we are taking a for loop for I in LST. For I in LST, print the value of I. Here we have to get one by one element from a list. One by one element from a list. Now we have to apply the slicing operation. So this is the whole list. We want to display only the first element of that list. Print LST of 0. So we get only the first element. Look at here. 101 we have get there. Now I am applying comment for this. Okay. Only the slicing operation. 101 will be there. Now we have to get the output 101. So the first number that is stored at 0 index. Now see here, if you return here 1, that will retrieve the second number, second value of a list, that is Sagar Shinde, that will be stored at index 1. Look at here, means it is the second value of that list. So we want to apply some slicing operation. Suppose we want only that three things, three elements, 101 Sagar Shinde and Akluz. Now we want to apply a slicing operation. Starts from 0. This is 0, 1, 2. Means here we have need to write 3. So it will goes up to 2 index. See here. We get the list or slice of that whole list. The whole list contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 elements. So out of that only we have retrieved 3 elements, 101 Sagar Shinde and Akluz. So this is the way of slicing a list. Another way, if you want to retrieve the last element, we can pass the index as a -1. That is 58.93. That element will be stored at a last index. Now we want to apply another slicing operation. Suppose you want to go to a reverse. Start from -1 up to -3. Start from -1 up to -3. Now see here, we get the we get the empty list. Means we cannot apply the reverse index. Start from -3 up to -1. Look at it. Oculus 21 we have to get. -3 will be there. Means this is -1, this is -2, this is -3. -3 to -1. This is -1. Means we have get only that two parts. Oculus 21. So we can also apply the negative indexes for a slicing operation. Now we can also apply the repetition operator. For example, you want to display the same list for 2 times. So LST into 2. That will display the same list in 2 times. See here. 101 Sagar Shinde Akulu 2158.93. This is one. Another 101 same. Same list will be displayed as 2 times. If you return here 3, it will display 3 times. See here. This is 1, this is second, and from this is a third. So it will display the list in 3 times. Similar to string, we can also apply a repetition operator. Suppose for example you want to display a slice in 3 times like that. Here we have taken a slice of that list from 0 to 2, that is 0 to 3 will be there for 3 times. Now see here, we have written that slice 101 Sagar Shinde Aklus, 101 Sagar Shinde Aklus, 101 Sagar Shinde Aklus. So we have taken a slice of first 3 elements and that should be displayed or repeated 3 times. So we can also apply a repetition operation on a slice. So this is about the list data type. The next data type, that is a tuple. The next data type, that is a tuple. So what is a tuple? A tuple is similar to a list. Tuple is similar to a list. Tuple contains a group of elements which can be of different types. Similar to list, here we can also take the elements of a different type. We can also take the elements of same type. We can also take the elements of a different type. The elements in the tuple are separated by commas and enclosed in a parenthesis. So same here, elements are enclosed in a parenthesis. So instead of square bracket, we are taking a parenthesis, and that is of a circular parenthesis. Whereas the list elements can be modified, it is not possible to modify the tuple elements. So we have seen that the elements of the lists are modifiable. Elements of lists are modifiable, but we cannot change or we cannot modify the elements of a tuple. So tuples are non-modifiable. Tuples are non-modifiable. That means tuple can be treated as a read-only list. So once you declared a list, we cannot make the modifications inside that list. Now, for example, suppose we want to create a list, create a tuple. Now we have to see the representation of a tuple. Now declare a one tuple. Suppose for example we have taken a TPL data type, TPL equal to. Tuples are represented inside a parenthesis, that is circular parenthesis. We are taking the elements here. Suppose same list we have taken here, 101 Sagar Shinde living in Solapur. Having age as a 21, and the obtained marks are 58.93%. Close that tuple. So here we have taken a tuple that contains some elements. So first element, that is integer element, second element, that is a string, contains 2 words, third is address that contains a string, fourth is the age of the person or student, that is a integer, and the last one, that is a percentage of marks in a float type. Now we have taken a list of elements inside a tuple, and that is of a number of types, that is some are strings, some are integers, some are a float. Now individual elements of the tuple can be referenced using a square braces. So if you want to retrieve the specific element, it should be represented TPL of 0, TPL of 1, TPL of 2, like that. Now if you try to modify the 0th element of a TPL, what happens here? It cannot be modifiable. So we have seen that tuples are not modifiable. TPL of 0, TPL of 0. Instead of 101, we want to modify 102. So it will not be allowed it. Look at here. Tuple object does not support atom assignment. Means what? Tuples are non-modifiable. Means we cannot change or modify the values of a tuple. We cannot change or modify the values of a tuple. But if you taken a list, the elements of it will be modifiable. Now we have to see, to display the elements of a tuple, we can display the whole tuple by writing inside a print function TPL, like that. We have to get the whole tuple here. The whole tuple will be displayed. If you want to display a one by one element of a tuple, for that we have need to take a for loop in this way, print I. Now here we are displaying a one by one element from a tuple. Also we can apply a slicing operations on that tuple. We can also apply some slicing operations on that tuple. Suppose for example print TPL of 0 to 3. Means what? Here first 3 elements are retrieved. Means 01, 101 Sagar Shinde and Solapur. That will be retrieved here. See here, from that list, from that tuple, only the 3 elements slice will be retrieved. So we can also apply the slicing operation on a tuple. Also we can apply the negative indexes for that tuple. See here, if you want to display the last element of the tuple, look at here, the last element 58.93 will be retrieved. Then if you want to display the second last element, minus 2 will be written there. Second last element, that is a 21. That should also be retrieved. Look at here. 21 is the second last element. 21 will be retrieved by passing a minus 2 index. Now we can also apply the negative index as a slicing operation. So minus 4 up to end will be there. Okay, minus 4 till end. So in this, so this is a minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. So that slice will be retrieved from Sagar Shinde, Solapur 2158.93. म्हणजे till end we have not passed here second parameter. Means what? That slice will retrieve from minus 4 index up to or till end of a list. Now we want to write like that, minus 1 will be there. If you return minus 1, it will goes up to there. Means that 3 elements of that tuple will be retrieved. Look at here, only that 3 elements of the tuple will be retrieved. So we can also apply some slicing operations on that. Now we can also apply a repetition operator. Now print, suppose you want to display that tuples 2 times. same tuple will be displayed two times. Look at here, this is one time and this is the second time. So by using repetition operator, that is multiplication, we can display the tuple number of times. Also we can apply a repetition operation on a slicing. Means what? We have taken a slice of -4 to -1 and display it two times, three times like that. So we have taken that slice and it will display as a two times. So Sagar Shinde Solapur 21, again Sagar Shinde Solapur 21. This is a slice of -4 to -1. So in this way we can apply a slicing operations on a tuple. So the major difference between list and tuple is there. List and tuple both are similar, both contain the list of elements of same or different type. The difference within list and tuple is there. The elements of the list are modifiable, means we can insert, update or delete the elements of a list. We cannot modify the elements of a tuple. We cannot insert, update or delete the elements inside a tuple. Tuples are written by using a parenthesis like circular and separated by a comma, while lists are written or represented by using a square parenthesis separated by a comma. So this is the main difference between a list and tuple. Now we have to move to the last sequence data type, that is a range. The last sequence data type, that is a range. So what is a range data type? What is a range data type? So the range data type represents a sequence of numbers. The range is mostly taken for a sequence of numbers. So range data type represents a sequence of numbers and the numbers in the range are not modifiable. Means it is a static. Once we have declared a range, we cannot modify it. So generally range is used for repeating a for loop for a specific number of times. So mostly range function will be used within a for loop for the repetition of loop. Means how many times the loop will be repeated, that will decided by using a range function, or that will decide by a range function. So to create a range of numbers, we can simply write the, for example, range of 10. For example, if you want to create the object of a range, suppose here we have created r equal to, r is the object of type as a range that contains a sequence of numbers of 10, means the range contains numbers from 0 to 9. 0 to 9, and here the range object is created with the numbers starting from 0 to 9, and we can display these numbers using a for loop. Suppose for example we have created a range object. Now see the example representation of a range data type. Now here we have taken one range object r equal to range of 10. R equal range of, if you print that, print r, look at here, range of 0 to 10 we have get out. But mostly that range or r object that holds the numbers from 0 to 9, because here we have taken as a 10. If you taken as 11, it will take only numbers from 0 to 10. If you taken as a 12, it will, r object contains numbers from 0 to 11. Now we have taken as a range of r equal to range of tens, means r contains numbers ranging from 0 to 9. Now by using a for loop, for I in range, for I in we have taken r object here. Now print the value of I here. Now see what happens. R object that hold the numbers ranging from 0 to 9. So R equal to range of 10 means what? We have created object R type as a range and that contains value as a 0 to 9. Suppose you have taken 5. Now what happened? That contains 0 to 4 values. See here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be stored. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be stored. Now we can also use instead of creating the range object, we can directly write a range here, range of 10. Now see, in this way we, without creating object, we can directly write a range type inside a for loop. So this is the way of using a range data type. Now suppose for example we want to create a list from range of numbers. Now create, we have to see one program, create a list using range type. So what we have created, r equal to range of 10. Now what, r contains the values from 0 to 9. Now we want to create a list from that, list equal to list of r. Now that list of values stored inside a variable r will be converted into a list and stored in a variable list. Now look at here, whatever list, only list is there. Okay. See here, we have created that list of numbers ranging from 0 to 9. If you change that, if you want to create a list of number from 0 to 5, we have need to write there 6 there, like that, 0 to 5. So in this way we can also create a list using a range data type. We can also create a list using a range data. Similarly, if you want to create a list, create a tuple. See here, create a tuple using a range type. We have taken a range of here, suppose a range of 0 to 11 we have taken. Then convert that inside a tuple of r, and here t variable will be displayed. See here, we have created tuple. Why it is tuple? Because it is enclosed in a circular parenthesis separated by a comma. This is a list. Why this is list? It is enclosed in a square parenthesis, so it is a list. It is a tuple. So these are considered as a use of a range data. So these are the number of sequence data type that are used in a Python. We have seen string. For declaration or creation of string, str data type will be used. Bytes data type, that will contains numbers ranging from 0 to 255, but it is not modifiable. We have seen bytes array, that is similar to bytes type array, but byte array is a modifiable, means we can change the values of a byte array. Then we have seen list that contains a group of elements of same or different types enclosed in a parenthesis, and each element is separated by a comma. Then we have seen tuple enclosed in a square parenthesis and separated by a comma. The difference is that list and tuple, list is a modifiable, tuple is a non-modifiable. And last we have seen the range type, that range data type will be used for or to take a sequence of numbers, and it is mostly used with a for loop. So this is the sequence data type that will be used in a Python.